So, today is December 31st, and it is 12:07 p.m. So we have just under 12 hours left of 2016. 2016 was a pretty awesome year. So I'm really looking forward to 2017. I think it's going to just blow my mind. So I'm on now, I guess, day 2 of standing on his promises. Again, this is a exercise for myself, but I'm putting this out there publicly to share what I go through in hopes that maybe some of my words might be helpful to people who could listen to them. So this is going to be shared on Facebook, and I'm also going to put this on my Tiger Lily channel on YouTube because I really think that our mamas could benefit from this as well. I know I sure can. So today's promise is from Hebrews 10:23, and I am on Bible Hub. And I'm going to read a couple different versions of it, a couple different translations, because I like all of them, just 3 of them. The first one is from the New International Version, and it says, "Let us hold unswervingly to the hope we profess, for he who promised is faithful." So I like that one, because hold unswervingly. Like so many times in life, I know I go, whoa, I don't like that. Whoa, I don't like that. I need to change my mind and go this way. I need to shift and change and rearrange. And this just says, hang on tight. Hang on and don't move. Keep going forward. Don't go left. Don't go right. Definitely don't go back. Unswervingly. Stay the course. To the hope that we profess. You know, if you don't have hope in life, you don't have anything. You know, life is kind of meaningless if you can't hope for something. And I hope for the day that I get to see my Savior's face. That's what I hope for the most. So let us hold unswervingly to the hope that we profess. So this is again my exercise to speak out loud the things that I know and that I believe and that I have faith in and that I have hope in. I need to profess these with my mouth. So this is my exercise. For he who promised is faithful. So he makes some pretty awesome promises, and I'm looking forward to going through promises of him every day. Every day. That is going to be a tough challenge in itself, to do it every day. But I'm going to do it every day. So that means he's got a lot of promises. And I'm excited to hear them all. And he's faithful. He doesn't change. The New Living Translation. Again, this is Hebrews 10:23. Let us hold tightly, without wavering, to the hope that we affirm, for God can be trusted to keep his promise. I love that one. There's not too many people that can be trusted with everything. And he can totally be trusted with everything. He's never let me down. Even when I was impatient and thinking something should have happened faster than it did or whatever, I still trusted in him that it's in his time. But he has no time because he's eternal, like he's forever. So for him, a second is 1,000 years and 1,000 years is a second. So when we get impatient, when I get impatient, saying, God, come on, like now, I need this now. But he doesn't answer me like now. It's because he doesn't need to know time. And when he says it's time, it's time. And when he says it's time, it's like, whoo, fast. Boom, in a blink of an eye. Life's totally different. And you're like, holy cow, where did this come from? It's pretty awesome. I love saying that word, awesome. It's pretty awesome. The third translation is the English Standard Version. Again, Hebrews 10:23. Let us hold fast the confession of our hope without wavering, for he who promised is faithful. Hold fast, hold tight, hold unswervingly. Ooh, that's powerful. Hang on to it fast, hold on tight to it, and don't move off of it. He is faithful. He's faithful. There's not a single person here on earth that you can count on to be faithful all the time. Not your kids, not your spouse, not your parents, not your friends. Like everybody, we're all humans. So we all have our flaws and our expectations and what we hope to get out of somebody or from somebody or to somebody and our expectations. I know mine. Sometimes I wonder if I expect too much. I don't know. I learn that every day. But I know that I can never expect too much from him. You know, he challenges me. I need to start saying me. I'm going to say me. I mean us, but I'm going to say me because it's for me. And I'm sharing it with you. But he tells me to ask big. He's a big guy. I mean, my goodness, he created the flippin' earth in 6 days. If y'all think that's a phony story, you really need to look around. The proof is in everything that's on this earth. It's amazing. So if he can do that in 6 days, it's pretty big. What we ask for is like peanuts. And I don't like, I've heard people say, oh, well, you know, God's pretty busy. He doesn't have time for my little stuff. That's all he has is time. He is time. So don't ever say that God doesn't have time for you. He created time. He can make time stand still somehow if he needs to, but he does that. Not literally, but, you know, figuratively. Sometimes moments go by super fast, and sometimes moments are sweet, and they're long, and they're wonderful. He controls all that. So he does have time for us. And he's faithful to us to keep his promises. It's pretty cool. So I know that since the days that he started really showing himself to me, and really, he was like always waiting for me to call on him. I walked not a very pretty walk for a long time of my life. Very selfish and stupid. But whatever, I learned from all of it. I don't regret it because I'm alive, thank God. And I know there's been so many times that he really protected me. At least a handful of times that he really did spare my life. And so I know because of that, I know he does have really cool plans for me. And I believe that. So I lean into that. And there came a time in my life where I was just so tired of trying. And this was really before I knew him and I knew his capacity. You know, like I said, I've always known of him, right? And I've always had the attitude of, oh, I love God. God loves me. I've been to church enough times to last me my entire life. That was my mentality. I went to church 2 to 3 times a week when I was growing up, but it was motions. It wasn't, nothing like really resonated of love and meaning. I mean, it was a foundation for sure. And it gave me that little seedling that it made me, in later on in my life, know that there was something I needed to be hungry for. So, but I just know there was, you know, so many times as he was chipping away, breaking me down. You know, yeah, people say, oh, you know, if there was a God, he wouldn't allow this bad stuff to happen. You know, sometimes he does. And sometimes he uses the bad things. No, he always uses the bad things for our good. If you look at everything that way, it really puts a total spin on how you can digest your life. Something that you think is a total horrific catastrophe. In the end of it, when you finally come through it, because everything has the up and down, everything has a beginning, a middle, and an end. Everything does. So when you are starting out in your havoc, in your of a mess, keep walking through it. And when you're done with it, you can look back and say, holy moly, I just made it through all that. But you didn't make it through it alone. That's for sure. That is definitely for sure, whether you know it or not. He's right there with you. So I know many times he sat next to me and cried while I was doing some of the things I was doing. I know that. And I so apologized for that. But I was thankful that he was right next to me, keeping me safe, letting me experience things, letting me pretty much tear myself down. But he was right there next to me, waiting for that moment that I would be like, oh my God, I need you. And guess what? He was there. He never, ever, ever from me turned his back. He never was like, no, I want to talk to you right now. Where have you been? Why haven't you called me? You only call me when you want something. He didn't do that. He was waiting and waiting, and he finally said, there you are. And here I am. It was huge. There was a moment, I know, beyond a shadow of a doubt. Beyond a shadow of a doubt. I had big angels behind me. One big angel, 15 feet tall. I know for a fact that I had an angel behind me protecting me. Thank God, because I was so scared in that moment, and he protected me. It was cool. So, you know, I'm kind of going off on my tangent, but regardless, He used every moment of my life, every dark and dirty, scary, petrifying moment in my life to help me. I could only go down so far, and when I was down that far, the only way I could do was look up. And when I looked up, he was there. And it was the coolest walk of leaving my darkness and slowly going with him. And then once I really felt him, whoa, it was like, I need to run. I want to run towards you. I don't ever want to look back. So cool. So, I'm going to read this one more time. Okay. So this promise, let us hold unswervingly to the hope that I profess, that I say out of my mouth. For he who promised is faithful. I believe that. I know that. He's faithful. He's my love. He's my love. He doesn't break his promises. So I will stand fast. I'll hold tight, unswervingly, keep going in the direction that he has called me in, no matter how scary or challenging or sometimes how I feel like it's not going anywhere. I will stand fast in what I know he has called me to do. I will be faithful to him because he is faithful to me first. He is faithful to me first. He loved me before I loved him. He knew me way before I ever knew him. And he didn't hold that against me. So awesome. So, I like that promise today. And it makes me look forward even more to hear more of all of the more promises he has. Happy end of 2016 and happy almost 2017. It is going to be amazing.